I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. Isaiah chapter 34. The second coming shall be a day of vengeance and judgment. The indignation of the Lord shall be upon all nations. His word shall fall upon the world. I also want to mention that this video does have a Joseph Smith translation in it. What the Joseph Smith translation is, this is an inspired translation or correction of the Bible done by Joseph Smith to restore those passages that had been lost over the years. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth from off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse, to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Okay, this is a nice description of the destruction of the wicked in the last days. That's really what this is talking about. It's a day of vengeance and judgment. God passes judgment on all the wicked, and his sword is bathed in blood. Bathed in the blood of heaven even. Because he is destroying all the wicked. But I like this. There is a Joseph Smith translation here. And I find this one just to be kind of funny. Because here in verse 7, all he does is he takes the word unicorns and he changes it to riem. Now, what does riem mean? Now, according to my nice book here, there is some question whether this was an intentional change or they say is a scribal error. But I find it funny. But it is printed in the footnotes here, which means that the church accepts it as being legitimate. But what is riem? Why change unicorn to riem? Well, according to the footnote here, riem is the Hebrew word for a wild ox. But he doesn't change it to wild ox. He changes it to riem. He takes the English, turns it back to Hebrew. Instead of giving us a better translation of the Hebrew, he just gives us the Hebrew. I find that's ridiculous. But it does tell us why in all the other passages in the scriptures, whenever we read the word unicorn, in the footnotes it says it means wild ox. Because we have this here, that Joseph Smith, in the Joseph Smith correction, in Joseph Smith's translation, he corrected it to the word riem, which is Hebrew for wild ox. I find this fascinating. Now, I will say, at the time of the King James, or in the Hebrew, the wild ox. I mean, today an ox is a bull that has been castrated. But the word bull doesn't really appear in the Bible. You have the ox and the wild ox. That's the tame bull and the wild bull. Because the term ox originally was synonymous with bull. It became used for a castrated bull, but it was originally just a male cow. Anyways, this is just a description of the destruction, the vengeance of the Lord, but it's putting it in this way, and instead of just saying the wicked will be destroyed, that this is the vengeance and judgment of the Lord. That's what and I think it's a good way of putting it. And it clarifies that this is not just God being vindictive, but it is him passing judgment. Verse 11. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons, and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there, and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay, and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. So, the land is going to be emptied. God's vengeance is coming on the wicked, and then all their places will be basically reclaimed by nature. The earth will move in and reclaim it. It's interesting, but verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. He hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. This seems to be saying to me that all the animals moving in, as we read, this is a symbolic of the righteous spreading throughout the world. The wicked are gone. And so the righteous will fill the world. They will spread out. They will reclaim these areas. But let us look. Both of these verses, 16 and 17, have Joseph Smith translations. So we'll see here. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, and read the names written therein. No one of these shall fail. None shall want their mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and my spirit it hath gathered them. And I have cast the lot for them, and I have divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation they shall dwell therein. So yes, this makes it clear. This is those whose names are in the book of life, the book of the Lord, will possess the land. None shall want his mate. In other words, there will still be marriage in the millennium. And as we will be resurrected, there will be many resurrected in the millennium. Well, this is another evidence that marriage is eternal. That's what I'm saying here. None shall lack his mate. Those who are written in the book of life will still be married, and they will fill the earth. They will inherit the earth, just like Christ says in the Sermon on the Mount. The meek shall inherit the earth, and that's what this is talking about. When the Lord comes, the wicked are destroyed in the vengeance and judgment of God, and then the earth is given to the righteous who spread out. It's beautiful. But we'll see you in the next one.